turning the streets into rivers. The town feels alive with the storm, like it's holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. Emily's standing there, her hands stuffed in her pockets, trying to keep warm, but it's more than the cold getting to her. She's thinking about the fight she had with her boss earlier that day, the way he dismissed her ideas like they didn't matter. She's thinking about the letter she found in her mailbox, a reminder of a debt she can't pay. And she's thinking about the life she thought she'd have by now, the one with a happy ending that feels further away than ever. You can relate to that, can't you? That feeling of wanting more, of chasing a dream that keeps slipping through your fingers. That's where Emily is when Jack pulls up, his truck headlights cutting through the rain like a beacon. He doesn't know her, doesn't owe her anything, but he stops. And when he steps out of his truck, umbrella in hand, there's something in his eyes, a kindness maybe, or a flicker of recognition, like he sees himself in her struggle. Here's where I want to pull you in even closer. Imagine you're Emily for a second. You're standing in the rain, feeling like the world's forgotten you. And then someone stops, not because they have to, but because they choose to. What would that mean to you? Would it feel like a lifeline? A sign that things might get better? That's what this story is about. Those small, unexpected moments that can change everything. Jack hands Emily his umbrella, but it's not just about keeping her dry. There's something else in that gesture, something that makes her pause, makes her look at him a little longer. Is it the way he smiles, like he's carrying a secret? Or the way he says, "You look like you could use a little help"? Whatever it is, it's enough to make Emily hesitate, to make her wonder if this stranger might be more than just a passing face in the storm. And that's the question I want you to hold on to as we move forward. What did Jack give her that night, and why did it matter so much? I know you're invested now, because who wouldn't be? This is the kind of story that sticks with you, the kind you'll want to tell your friends about. It's a heartwarming story, yes, but it's also a romantic mystery, a puzzle you're going to want to solve. Emily and Jack are two people who seem so different on the surface. She's an artist with big dreams. He's a mechanic who's content fixing cars and keeping to himself. But there's something that connects them, something deeper than a chance encounter in the rain. And I'm going to let you in on a little hint. It's not just about the umbrella. It's about what that umbrella represents. A gesture, a connection, a moment that sparks something neither of them saw coming. You're probably wondering if this is a love story, a redemption story, or something else entirely. I'm not going to tell you yet, but I promise you this. If you keep watching, you're going to find out, and it's going to be worth it. Let's talk about the themes that make this story so special. At its core, this is about second chances. About finding hope when you've all but given up. It's about the way life can surprise you, the way a single moment can shift everything. Emily's been through so much. Heartbreak, betrayal, the kind of setbacks that make you question if you're enough. Jack's got his own baggage, a past that's left him guarded, maybe even a little afraid to let anyone in. But that night, in the rain, something shifts. It's like the universe decided to throw them together, to give them both a chance to rewrite their stories. And isn't that what we all want? A shot at something better, a moment that makes us believe in possibilities again? That's why I know you're going to love this story, because it's not just about Emily and Jack, it's about you too. It's about the times you've felt lost, and the hope that there's something better waiting just around the corner. Now, I want to make this personal for you. Think about a time in your life when someone showed up for you when you needed it most. Maybe it was a friend who listened when you were falling apart, or a stranger who did something kind when you least expected it. That's the kind of moment we're talking about here. Emily's at her lowest, and Jack's just a guy driving home, but their paths cross in a way that feels like fate. And I know you're curious. You want to know what happens next, don't you? You want to know what Jack says to Emily, what makes her decide to trust him, and what that something more is that changes everything. I'm not going to give it away yet, but I'm going to ask you to do one thing. Keep watching. Don't skip ahead. Don't click away. This story is worth your time, and I'm going to make sure you feel every moment of it. You're part of this now, and I'm not letting you go until we get to the heart of this mystery together. Let's set the stakes a little higher. That night, as Jack hands Emily his umbrella, something passes between them. A spark, a question, a possibility. Emily's not just cold and wet. She's at a crossroads. She's been running from her past, trying to build a new life, but it's not working. The job's falling apart, the bills are piling up, and the dreams she had when she moved to this town feel like they're slipping away. Jack, too, is at a turning point. He's spent years keeping people at arm's length, fixing cars instead of hearts, but seeing Emily stirs something in him. Maybe it's the way she looks at him, like she's searching for something. Maybe it's the way she hesitates before taking the umbrella, like she's afraid to believe in kindness. Whatever it is, it's enough to make Jack step out of his comfort zone, to offer her more than just shelter from the rain. And that's where the story takes a turn you won't see coming. What did he say to her? What did he do that made her heart skip a beat? I know you're dying to know, and I'm going to tell you, but not yet. Here's why you need to stick with this story. This isn't just about a rainy night or a kind stranger. It's about what happens when two people, both a little lost, find something in each other that they didn't even know they were looking for. It's about the kind of life-changing moment that makes you believe in fate, in love, in the idea that maybe, just maybe, the universe has a plan for you. You're probably thinking, come on, just tell me what happens. But I want you to feel this story, to live it with Emily and Jack. I want you to wonder what you'd do if you were Emily, standing there in the rain, or Jack, deciding whether to stop. This is the kind of story that makes you think about your own life, your own choices, and the moments that have shaped you. So, I'm asking you to trust me to keep watching, because I promise you, the answer to that burning question, what did Jack give her, is going to blow you away. As we wrap up this introduction, let's zoom in on that moment one more time. Emily's standing there, rain dripping down her face, her eyes locked on Jack as he holds out his umbrella. The world around them fades away. The storm, the empty streets, the weight of their pasts. For a second, it's just the two of them, and something unspoken passes between them. Jack says something, his voice low, almost lost in the rain, but it's enough to make Emily's breath catch. She takes the umbrella, her fingers brushing against his, and in that fleeting touch, there's a promise of something more. But what is it? What did Jack give her that night that changed her life forever? Was it a kind word, a gesture? And then there's the storm, that relentless rain that seems to bring everything to the surface. Secrets, regrets, and maybe even a chance at redemption. The atmosphere is thick with possibility, and as Emily and Jack stand there, umbrella between them, you can feel the weight of what's about to unfold. You're probably wondering if this is going to be a love story, a redemption arc, or something darker. I'm not going to tell you yet, but I want you to feel that pull, that need to know what happens next, because this story is building towards something big. Now, I want to bring you back to that moment at the bus stop, because it's not just about the umbrella, it's about what happens right after. Jack standing there, rain dripping off the brim of his cap, his eyes locked on Emily's. He says something else, something that makes her laugh despite the cold, despite the weight of her day. It's a small moment, but it's enough to make her pause, to make her wonder if maybe this stranger isn't just a stranger. She takes a step closer, the umbrella shielding them both now, and for a second, it's like the storm doesn't exist. But here's where another layer of mystery comes in. As they talk, Emily notices something in Jack's truck, a photograph tucked into the visor, half hidden but unmistakable. It's a picture of a young woman who looks eerily familiar, someone Emily's sure she's seen before, but she can't place where. Is it a coincidence? Or is there a connection between her and Jack that goes deeper than this rainy night? And what about Jack? He's looking at Emily like he's trying to figure something out, like he's seen her before too, but he's not saying anything. The tension is building, and you can feel it, can't you? That sense that there's more to this story than meets the eye, that these two people are tied together in ways they don't even realize yet. Let's introduce one more perspective to keep you on the edge of your seat. Meet Tom, Jack's best friend and co-worker at the garage. Tom's the opposite of Jack. Loud, outgoing, always ready with a joke. He's been trying to get Jack to open up for years, to move past Lily's death, but Jack's walls are high. That night, Tom's at the garage late, finishing up a job, when he gets a call from Jack. It's brief, just Jack saying he's giving someone a ride, but there's something in his voice that Tom hasn't heard in years. Something alive, something hopeful. Tom's curious, maybe even a little worried, because he knows Jack doesn't stop for just anyone. When Tom hears later that it was Emily, the new girl in town, he starts to wonder. He's heard the rumors about her, the ones Clara's been picking up at the diner, about her past, about someone looking for her. Tom's loyal to Jack, but he's also protective, and he's not sure if Emily's trouble or not. This adds another layer to the story, because now we've got Tom watching from the sidelines, piecing things together, maybe even digging into Emily's past on his own. What does he know that Jack and Emily don't? And how is it going to change things? I know you're invested now, because this story is weaving a web of connections, questions, and possibilities. You're probably trying to guess what's going to happen. Will Emily and Jack find something real in each other, or is there a shadow from their pasts that's going to pull them apart? What's the deal with that photograph in Jack's truck? And what about Clara and those rumors about Emily's ex? I'm not going to answer any of that yet, because I want you to feel the suspense, to stay locked in as this romantic mystery unfolds. This is a story about second chances, about unexpected love, about the way a single moment can change everything. But it's also about secrets, about the things we carry that we don't tell anyone, and how they shape the choices we make. Emily and Jack are standing at the edge of something, and you're right there with them. So, don't click away. Don't look at your phone. Keep watching, because the next part of this story is going to pull you in even deeper, and I promise, the truth about what Jack gave Emily that night is going to be worth the wait. You're still here, and I can feel your excitement building as we dive deeper into this heartwarming story, this romantic mystery that's got you on the edge of your seat. We left Emily and Jack at that rain-soaked bus stop, the umbrella between them a fragile shield against the storm, their eyes locked in a moment that feels like it could change everything. That photograph in Jack's truck, the one Emily swears she's seen before, and the cryptic rumors Clara's been hearing at the diner, they're all threads in this emotional rescue, weaving a web of intrigue that's pulling you in. Now we're going to turn up the heat, escalate the stakes, and throw in an unexpected twist that'll make your jaw drop. I'm not going to wrap this up yet. Oh no, we're far from answering what Jack gave Emily that night that was so much more than an umbrella. But I promise you, this section is going to shake things up, deepen the subplots, and keep you glued to this life-changing moment. So grab a snack, settle in, and let's see where this storm takes us, because things are about to get wild, and you're not going to want to miss a single second. Let's pick up right where we left off, with Emily and Jack under that umbrella, the rain pounding around them, their conversation teetering on the edge of something profound. Jack's words, whatever they were, have sparked something in Emily. A flicker of hope, maybe, or a curiosity she hasn't felt in a long time. She's about to say something back, her lips parting, when a sudden flash of headlights cuts through the rain. Another car pulls up, its tires splashing through the puddles, and out steps a man Emily never expected to see again. Mark, her ex, the one who shattered her heart back in the city. This is the twist, you guys. And it's a big one. Mark's not supposed to be here. Emily moved hundreds of miles to escape him, to leave behind the lies and the betrayal, but here he is, standing in the rain, his expensive coat soaked, his eyes locked on her with an intensity that makes her stomach churn. Jack stiffens, sensing the shift in the air, his hand tightening on the umbrella. Mark's voice cuts through the storm, smooth and confident, like he's never been gone. "Emily, we need to talk," he says, ignoring Jack completely. But there's something off about him. His smile doesn't reach his eyes, and there's a folder tucked under his arm, papers peeking out, damp from the rain. What's he doing here? Is this the stranger Clara heard about at the diner? The one asking questions about Emily? And why now, in the middle of this storm, when Emily's just starting to feel a spark of something new with Jack? You can feel the tension, can't you? This isn't just a reunion, it's a collision, and it's about to turn this emotional rescue into something far more complicated. Emily's heart is racing now, her mind spinning as she tries to process Mark's sudden appearance. She hasn't seen him in over a year, not since she found out about his cheating and walked away from their shared apartment, their shared dreams. Back then, Mark was all charm and promises, a rising star at a tech startup with a knack for making everyone believe he had it all together. But Emily knew the truth, the late nights he claimed were work, the excuses that didn't add up, the way he'd make her feel small when she dared to question him. Now, standing in this small town, far from that life, he looks different. Older, maybe, or desperate. He steps closer, his voice low, saying something about unfinished business, about a mistake he needs to fix. Emily's not buying it, but there's something in his tone that makes her pause, something that feels like a threat wrapped in honey. Jack, meanwhile, is watching this unfold, his jaw tight, his instincts screaming that this guy's trouble. He doesn't know Emily's history with Mark, but he knows a snake when he sees one. And here's where the stakes climb higher. Emily notices the folder in Mark's hand has her name scrawled on it, and inside, she catches a glimpse of what looks like legal documents. Is this about the debt she's been drowning in, the one she thought she'd left behind? Or is it something worse, something tied to the life she ran from? You're probably screaming at your screen right now, wanting to know what's in that folder, what Mark wants, and how Jack's going to fit into this. Hold tight, because this unexpected love story is about to take a turn you didn't see coming. Let's zoom out for a second and bring Clara back into the picture, because her subplot is heating up, and it's adding fuel to this romantic mystery. Clara's still at the diner, wiping down the counter, her eyes flicking to the window where she saw Jack's truck earlier. She's been piecing things together, her mind turning over the rumors she's heard. That stranger who came through town a few months ago, asking about Emily. He didn't just ask questions. He left something behind, something Clara found tucked under a napkin at the diner. A business card with a name and a phone number, and the word, collections, printed in bold. Clara didn't think much of it at the time, but now with Mark showing up out of nowhere, she's starting to wonder if it's all connected. She's seen Emily's stress, the way she flinches when her phone buzzes, the way she avoids talking about her past. Clara's no detective, but she's got a mother's instinct, and she's starting to think Emily's in deeper trouble than anyone realizes. When she hears from a regular at the diner that a flashy car, Mark's car, was spotted circling the town earlier that day, Clara's suspicions grow. She decides to keep a closer eye on things, maybe even slip Jack a heads up, because she's got a soft spot for him, ever since he fixed her old delivery van for free when the diner was struggling. But what Clara doesn't know is that Mark's not just here for Emily. He's got his own reasons, ones that might tie back to Jack's past, to that night 5 years ago when Lily died. This subplot is like a storm cloud gathering on the horizon, and you can feel it, can't you? That sense that something big is coming, something that's going to shake this small town to its core. Now, let's check in with Tom, Jack's best friend, because his perspective is adding another layer to this life-changing moment. Tom's still at the garage, cleaning up after that late-night job, when Jack calls again. This time, Jack's voice is different. Tense, clipped, like he's trying to keep it together. He tells Tom he's driving Emily home, but there's something else, something about a guy showing up, someone who's got Emily rattled. Tom's protective streak kicks in, and he starts asking questions, but Jack cuts him off, saying he'll explain later. Tom's not one to sit still though. He grabs his jacket and heads out into the rain, determined to find out what's going on. He's heard the same rumors Clara has, about someone sniffing around town, asking about Emily, and he's starting to wonder if Jack's getting in over his head. Tom knows Jack's history, knows how Lily's death changed him, made him cautious, closed off. But he also knows that spark he heard in Jack's voice earlier, that hint of something alive, and it's got him worried. What if Emily's trouble? What if this guy, Mark, is bringing problems Jack can't handle? Tom's subplot is like a ticking clock, because he's not just going to sit back and watch. He's digging, asking questions, maybe even heading to the diner to see if Clara knows more. And here's where it gets juicy. Tom's got a piece of information he hasn't shared with Jack yet, something he found in the garage a few weeks ago. A letter addressed to Lily, from someone in the city, someone with the same last name as Mark. Could it be a coincidence? Or is this the thread that ties everything together? Back at the bus stop, the tension is thick enough to cut. Mark's still talking, his voice smooth but insistent, trying to convince Emily to hear him out. He's saying something about a deal, about fixing things, but Emily's not listening. Her eyes keep darting to Jack, who's standing his ground, the umbrella still shielding her from the rain. Jack's not saying much, but his presence is steady, like an anchor in the storm. Emily's mind is racing. Why is Mark here? What's in that folder? And why does the photograph in Jack's truck feel like it's pulling at a memory she can't quite grasp? She's starting to wonder if Jack knows more than he's letting on, if that flicker of recognition in his eyes means something. And then Mark drops a bombshell. He mentions a name, Lily, and says something about a debt that's not just Emily's but tied to someone else, someone from this town. Jack's face changes, his eyes narrowing, and Emily feels a chill that has nothing to do with the rain. Lily, that's the name Jack mentioned earlier, when he let slip about his sister. Is Mark connected to her death somehow? Is that why he's here, why he's tracked Emily down? The questions are piling up, and you're probably yelling at your screen, wanting answers, but I'm not going to give them to you yet. This is a romantic mystery, after all, and the stakes are higher than ever. Let's talk about why this moment feels so electric. Emily's caught between her past and her present, between the man who broke her and the man who's offering her a lifeline. Jack's caught too, torn between his instinct to protect Emily and the ghosts of his own past that Mark's presence is stirring up. The storm's still raging, the town's secrets are bubbling to the surface, and Clara and Tom are circling closer to the truth. This isn't just about an emotional rescue anymore. It's about a collision of lives, of choices, of secrets that could change everything. You're probably wondering if Emily and Jack are going to team up against Mark, Or if Mark's got something on both of them that's going to tear this moment apart. What about that photograph, that letter, that rumor? I know you're hooked, because this story's got everything. Heart, suspense, unexpected love, and a twist that's turned this small-town encounter into something much bigger. So, don't you dare click away. Keep watching because we're barreling toward the climax, and the truth about what Jack gave Emily that night is closer than you think. But it's going to come with a cost neither of them saw coming. You've stuck with me through this heartwarming story, this romantic mystery that's kept you on the edge of your seat, and I can feel your anticipation as we head into the final stretch. We left Emily and Jack at that rain-soaked bus stop, the tension crackling like lightning with Mark's unexpected arrival, his cryptic folder, and that bombshell mention of Lily, Jack's late sister, tying their pasts together in ways neither of them could have imagined. The storm's still raging, Clara's piecing together rumors at the diner, and Tom's out in the rain, chasing answers that could change everything. You're probably dying to know what Jack gave Emily that night that was so much more than an umbrella, what's in that folder, and how Mark's connected to Lily's death. Well, this is it, you guys. The climax, the resolution, and one final twist that's going to leave you in awe. I'm going to wrap up this emotional rescue, tie up the subplots, and give you a life-changing moment that'll stick with you long after this video ends. So don't look away, don't click off, because this unexpected love story is about to deliver a finale that's worth every second of your time. Let's dive back into that moment at the bus stop, where the air is thick with tension, the rain pounding harder than ever, and Emily's caught between Jack's steady presence and Mark's unsettling return. Mark's still talking, his voice smooth but laced with an edge that makes Emily's skin crawl. He's holding that folder, waving it like a weapon, saying something about a debt that's not just hers but tied to Lily, Jack's sister. Jack's face is a mask of shock, his eyes narrowing as he steps forward, the umbrella tilting, letting rain spill over them both. "What do you know about Lily?" he demands, his voice low but sharp, cutting through the storm. Mark smirks, like he's been waiting for this, and opens the folder, pulling out a photograph, the same one Emily glimpsed in Jack's truck, of a young woman with bright eyes and a smile that feels hauntingly familiar. But then Mark drops the real bombshell. Lily wasn't just Jack's sister. She was Mark's fiancée, and the night she died, she was on her way to meet him, carrying a secret that could have ruined him. Emily's head spins, her breath catching as she pieces it together. The woman in the photo, the one she thought she recognized, it's Lily, and Emily's seen her before, in a picture Mark kept on his desk back in the city. She never knew Lily was Jack's sister. Never knew the connection ran this deep. You're feeling it now, aren't you? That shock, that realization that this isn't just a chance encounter. It's fate, tangled and messy, pulling these three people together in a storm of secrets and regrets. The climax hits like a thunderclap as Jack grabs the photograph from Mark, his hands shaking. He's been carrying the guilt of Lily's death for 5 years, blaming himself for not being there, for not stopping her from driving that night. But Mark's story unravels everything. He confesses that Lily was working with him at his startup, helping him secure a deal that wasn't entirely legal. A deal that went south and left them both in debt to some dangerous people. Lily wanted out, wanted to come clean, but Mark pressured her to stay quiet. That night, she was driving to meet him, to hand over documents that could have exposed him, when the accident happened. The folder in Mark's hand? It's those documents, the ones he's been chasing ever since, the ones he thinks Emily has because Lily mailed them to her before she died. Emily's stunned. She had no idea. She remembers a package arriving at her old apartment, right before she left the city, but she never opened it, assuming it was junk. It's been sitting in a box in her closet, untouched. Mark's here because he tracked her down, believing she's holding the key to his freedom, or his downfall. Jack's voice breaks as he asks, "Did you know she was going to die?" Mark's silence is answer enough, and the pain in Jack's eyes is raw, like a wound torn open. Emily steps closer to Jack, her hand brushing his arm, a silent promise that she's with him, even as her own past with Mark threatens to pull her under. This is the heart of the story, you guys, the moment where everything collides, where the truth about Lily, Mark, and that night comes crashing down like the rain around them. But here's where we resolve the main conflicts, tying up the threads that kept you hooked. Emily, her voice trembling but firm, tells Mark she's done running from him. She doesn't have the documents. He's wrong about that, but she's not afraid of him anymore. She's spent too long letting his betrayal define her, and this moment, standing next to Jack, feels like a turning point. Jack, meanwhile, is grappling with the truth about Lily. He's spent years blaming himself, but now he sees it wasn't his fault. It was Mark's greed, his manipulation, that set everything in motion. Jack's not a fighter, But there's a fire in him now, a need to protect Emily and honor Lily's memory. He tells Mark to leave, his voice steady despite the pain, and when Mark hesitates, Jack steps forward, the umbrella dropping to the ground, rain soaking them both. It's a standoff, and for a moment, it feels like it could turn violent. But then headlights cut through the rain again. This time, it's Tom, pulling up in his truck, his face grim as he steps out. He's been to the diner, talked to Clara, and pieced together enough to know Mark's trouble. Tom's holding that letter he found in the garage, the one addressed to Lily, and it's not just a letter. It's a confession from Lily, written the night she died, detailing Mark's shady deal and her plan to expose him. Tom hands it to Jack, and the weight of it, the proof of Lily's courage, gives Jack the strength to stand taller. Mark, seeing he's outnumbered and his secrets out, backs off, his car disappearing into the storm. The main conflict, Emily's fear of her past and Jack's guilt over Lily, starts to resolve as they realize they're stronger together, their bond forged in this moment of truth. Now, let's wrap up the subplots, because Clara and Tom deserve their moments too. Clara, who's been watching from the diner, steps out into the rain, her apron still on, and joins them at the bus stop. She's been holding on to that business card, the one from the collections guy, and she hands it to Emily, saying she's got a feeling it's connected to Mark. Turns out, Clara's been doing some digging of her own, calling the number on the card and learning it's tied to a debt collection agency that's been after Mark for years. Clara's maternal instinct was right. Emily's not the one in debt. Mark's been dodging his own mess, trying to pin it on her. Clara's subplot wraps up as she becomes a quiet hero, her small act of vigilance helping Emily break free from Mark's shadow. Tom, meanwhile, is more than just Jack's wingman. That letter he found? It wasn't just a confession, it was Lily's way of protecting Jack, her way of making sure the truth would come out someday. Tom's loyalty to Jack shines through as he promises to take the letter to the authorities, ensuring Mark faces the consequences of his actions. The town, with its secrets and whispers, feels a little lighter now, like the storm's finally breaking. Clara and Tom's subplots tie into the main story, showing how this small community, with all its quirks and rumors, comes together in a life-changing moment. And now, the final twist, the one that's going to leave you speechless. As the rain slows to a drizzle, Emily and Jack are left standing there, soaked but somehow lighter, like the truth has washed something away. Jack picks up the umbrella, handing it back to Emily with a small, tired smile. "You keep it," he says, and there's something in his voice, something that makes her heart skip. They climb into his truck, and as he drives her home, Emily finally asks about the photograph, about Lily. Jack's quiet for a moment, then pulls over, his hands gripping the wheel. He tells her the rest of the story, not just about Lily's death, but about what he gave Emily that night. It wasn't just an umbrella, it was a letter, tucked into the handle, one he wrote to Lily years ago, promising to live a life that would make her proud. He'd been carrying it in his truck, a reminder of his guilt, but when he saw Emily, something told him to give it to her. And here's the twist. When Emily gets home, she finds that package from Lily in her closet, the one she never opened. Inside are the documents Mark was after, but also a note from Lily, addressed to Emily, someone she never met but knew through Mark. The note says, "If you're reading this, you're stronger than he thinks. Don't let him win." Emily realizes Lily's courage, her fight, is what gave her the strength to face Mark tonight. Jack's letter, Lily's note, they're connected, a final gift from a sister he loved, passed through time to a woman he's starting to care for. It's a twist of fate, a moment of unexpected love that ties their stories together in a way neither could have imagined. As we close this story, let's reflect on what it all means. Emily and Jack, two people broken by their pasts, found each other in a storm, not just of rain but of secrets and pain. They faced their demons, Mark, the guilt, the lies, and came out stronger together. The umbrella wasn't just a shield, it was a symbol of hope, of second chances, of the way a single act of kindness can change everything. Clara and Tom showed us that community matters, that even in a small town with its gossip and quirks, people look out for each other. And Lily, though gone, left a legacy of courage that touched Emily's life, giving her the strength to rewrite her story. This is a heartwarming story, a romantic mystery, but it's also a reminder that life's storms don't last forever. Sometimes, all it takes is one person, one moment, to show you the way forward. So, what's the takeaway? Hold on to hope, trust in the unexpected, and never underestimate the power of a kind gesture. You're probably feeling it now, that mix of awe and warmth, that sense that this story was worth every minute. Thank you for sticking with me. for living this emotional rescue with Emily and Jack. Keep this story in your heart, and maybe, just maybe, look for your own umbrella the next time it rains.